Hi everyone, please subscribe my YouTube channel new more videos. My name is Diana, and at 37 I prepared her favorite meal. Poached salmon with a lemon glaze, roasted carrots, and a peach pie baked from scratch. I even dug out the old floral tablecloth, the one with the worn edges she used to chide me about but secretly loved. It was Vera's 64th birthday, and I told myself this year could be different. Not better, perhaps, but calmer. The table was set for 6, Vera at the head, joined by her bridge partner June, our cousin Laurie, and 2 neighbors who'd known me since I was a teen. I poured the wine, flashed smiles past plates. It felt almost natural to act like this was affection. Then Vera lifted her glass, toasting to growing older without burdens, she said, smirking as she swirled her drink. And to finally living free of dead weight, she added, her eyes locking onto mine. Honestly, Diana, the greatest gift you could give me is to walk out of my life. Silence fell. June cleared her throat softly. Laurie's fork froze midair. I stared at Vera, blinking once then again. I didn't ask her to repeat herself. If you've ever been betrayed by those who should have championed you, tell me where you're reading this from. I didn't need to hear it twice. I rose slowly, offered a smile that didn't belong to me, and stepped into the kitchen. I ran my hands under cold water until they went numb. Then I grabbed my jacket from the hook and left without a word. That night I sat in the darkened kitchen, still in my jacket. The pie sat untouched on the counter. The sink held empty glasses, stained with wine and barely rinsed. I looked at the chair where she'd sat, posture rigid, eyes smug, and wondered how long she'd practiced that line. Maybe she hadn't. Maybe it was second nature. I thought of all her birthdays before this one. The ones where I'd crafted handmade gifts as a kid, the years I lit up her porch with candles, the decades spent chasing something she never intended to offer. I stood, stored the pie in the fridge, and glanced at the dishes. I left them unwashed. I went to bed with the weight of silence on my tongue and her words echoing in my mind. The next morning, I opened my journal to a blank page. It stayed blank for a long time. I held the pen but didn't write. My hand lingered above the paper as if waiting for approval, and in that quiet morning, memories flooded in unbidden. I was 26 when I left grad school. Vera had slipped on ice outside her porch and broken her hip. "You're all I've got," she'd said over the phone, her voice frail and calculated. I still see the way my professor's face fell when I said I wouldn't finish the semester. "Just take a leave," he urged gently. I nodded, but I never returned. I moved back home that week. It was meant to be temporary. Years slipped by in fragments, doctor visits, prescriptions, groceries, errands. I took a job at the local library with hours that worked around her needs. I dated quietly, never deeply. Whenever someone asked about my future, I deflected. When Vera wanted to spruce up the house, I agreed. She painted over the sunny hallway I loved and swapped the kitchen tiles for stark gray ones. "It's more modern," she said. I told myself it didn't matter. It was still home, even if it didn't feel like mine. I let her toss out the chair I'd bought with my first paycheck. I brushed it off when she called it garish. I said yes to every small surrender. That was our pattern. She demanded, I adapted. But now in the stillness— This is shot video. To watch the full story, click on the link below.